Good morning, happy day 5 of Contemporary-A-THON. It's Friday. So yes, it's Friday. That is significantly less exciting for me because I work all weekend. I work weekends on a rotating basis, and this is one of them, which is usually a Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday combo. So I'll be off Monday, Tuesday, sadly. But because of that, I don't go into work until later. So I have been pretty productive this morning. I edited my vlog for days 3 and 4, so check that out if you haven't already. And I took a shower. I am doing some laundry, which you can probably hear the dryer. Sorry, that's obnoxious. And I've watched the most recent Books and Lala video and the most recent Chandler Ainsley video. And have I read it all? I don't even know if it counts. I finished the inked novella that I was reading yesterday. I had like 20 pages left, if that. So I finished that. I gave it 3 stars, which I feel like I shouldn't even rate it because it's a smutty novella, but it was enjoyable. Now I'm sitting down, I have my coffee. I'm gonna read this book. I am going to read Light It Up by Tekla Magoon. I have put it off to the end because I know it's going to absolutely shatter me. If you don't remember, this is about the shooting death of a 13-year-old black girl by a white police officer. And it's told in many, many different perspectives. Each chapter is a different person. So that'll be interesting to see if I can like keep up with who's who, or if it helps develop maybe even better than a single perspective would. What's going on? Also, it's illustrated. Look at that cover. All right, so I'm gonna start this and I will update you in a bit. It is a few minutes after 1 o'clock and I'm about to leave for work. I spent the rest of my morning getting ready for work, prepping for a program I'm doing with the teens tonight, and I also started a new audiobook. Well, I decided, even though I do have the audiobook for Light It Up, I decided I really want to sit and read it when I'm reading it. So I'm going to do that. I made it to page, I think 83, 85, something like that in the physical book. And I started a different audiobook, which is called Keep It to Yourself. I'll put the cover up right here. So this was not a part of my initial TBR, but it is an LGBTQ thriller mystery. I don't know. It looks great. Sounds good to me. I have wanted to read it for quite a while. It'll be diverse. It'll be a new to me author, maybe some other stuff too. So I have made it about an hour and 20 minutes into the audiobook. I think it's just shy of 9 hours long. So this weekend, I will physically read Light It Up and I will listen to Keep It to Yourself, or Keep This to Yourself. I will bring you along the way. So I'm about to head out for work, but I will catch you guys later. Good morning. Happy Saturday. It is day 6 of Contemporary-A-THON. I'm sorry I didn't film any more last night. I had a long day at work. I got home and I did basically nothing. And so far this morning I've done basically nothing. It's 9:15. I might read some more. Right now I'm drinking some coffee, laying on the couch. I might watch some more West Wing. To be quite honest, I think that's what I'll end up doing. I made a little bit more headway in the books yesterday. I didn't read any more Light It Up, so I'm on page 85 of that. And then I'm 2.5 hours into the audiobook for Keep This to Yourself, which I am really enjoying. So I have every intention of finishing both of those by the end of tomorrow for the readathon. That's about it. So I'm gonna go do that and I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Hello, it is 11 p.m. I've had a very long day. One of my coworkers called out sick with the flu. So of course, we don't want her there. We want her to be at home and to feel better. But weekends are already very lightly staffed. So it was a day. And I work tomorrow. I will be at work in 10 hours. So I'm gonna go to bed. Sorry there weren't more updates today. It wasn't very exciting. I listened to some more of Keep This to Yourself on audio when I had time. I'm a little over halfway into it now. I haven't read anything else, but I'm hoping tomorrow I will make a lot more headway. The plan is to finish both of the books that I have started by the end of the day tomorrow. So that is still the plan. That is still the goal. So I will check back in with you guys in the morning. Bye. Good morning, happy Sunday. It is day 7 of Contemporary-A-THON. I haven't listened to any more since last night, but I'm about to go into work and I have several hours of audiobook listening time available to me, so I am going to finish. I am going to finish Light It Up and I am going to finish Keep This to Yourself. It's happening, it's on. So I will check in with you later and let you know how it's progressing. Hello, hello. My sister, say hi. Hi. And I are on our way. We're not on our way. We're on our way home now. We just got takeout. We're headed home to eat it and to watch some TV and chill. And I'm finally off work. which I'm very excited about having survived this weekend. I finished Keep This to Yourself. I gave it 2 stars. I guessed the identity of the serial killer during the first chapter of the book. And then when I was describing the plot of the book to my best friend over the phone, I literally just told her the plot and she said, "I bet the murderer is," and she was correct. So I'll go into more about this in my wrap up, but I did finish it. I have not finished Light It Up yet, but I am still working on it. So stay tuned for that. Hello, happy Monday. It's President's Day and Contemporary-A-thon is finished. So I spent the morning, because it is President's Day, shopping. There were a lot of really good sales. But now I'm home and I am sitting down to film my wrap up for Contemporary-A-thon. I think I had a pretty decent time of it. I read 6 total books, well, 5 and a novella. And I am going to go one at a time through them, talk a little bit about what I thought, the ratings I gave them, and which challenges they met. So here we go. The first book I finished was Birthday by Meredith Russo. I gave this one 5 stars, and as far as challenges go, it met diverse, new to me author, hard-hitting, and I'd say beloved by a member of the BookTube community. I didn't pick anyone specifically, but I have heard many people gush about how much they loved this book. I did give it 5 stars, and I don't feel like I have adequate words to describe why I loved this and how much I loved it. I thought Morgan was such an inspiring character, and her relationship with Eric, how it evolved over the years, was, I felt for them, and I cried multiple times, and I felt so much while I read this book. It was somehow simultaneously heartbreaking and uplifting. All right, I'm about to say something really cheesy. It made me believe in the power of love. I mean, kind of, right? Like, Morgan and Eric's relationship transcended every possible circumstance. And, oh, I just gave myself goosebumps. I loved it. If you haven't read it, you should. Go check it out right now. All right, the second book I finished for Contemporary-A-thon was The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. If you've been following along with my vlogs, you know I had a very emotional reaction to this book. I gave it 2 stars, and I'll get into that in just a second. But first, the challenges. Green on the cover, new to me author, hard-hitting, beloved by a member of the community. I first heard about this book from Steph at Steph's Romance Book Talk. I will link her video where I heard about this book down below. I still highly recommend it, even though I had a bit of a negative reaction to it. She really loved it, and so there's every chance in the world that you will too. The third book I finished for Contemporary-A-thon was Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. I gave this one 5 stars, and it met green on the cover, new to me author, backlist title, illustrated cover, hard-hitting, and beloved by a member of the community. Like, everybody loves this book. I loved the portrayal of anxiety and depression in this book. I thought they were done so well and so believably. I loved the representation of fandom. It was something I could really relate to. I felt like I knew Eliza and like I knew Wallace, and I had been them at some point in my life, or I could at least connect to how they were feeling. I just thought the story was perfect. Like, I never quite knew where we were going with things, and then when we got where we were going and once everything wrapped up, I was just, sometimes, you know, you have a book where you feel like it ended perfectly for that story. I got the exact conclusion I needed for that story to make it work for me, and that's how I felt closing Eliza after I finished it. Everyone should read this, and it was the perfect reading experience for me. The fourth book, actually a novella, I completed was Get Inked by Helena Hunting. This is a novella that crosses over between her Pucked series, which I've read all the books for, and her Clipped Wings series, which I have read none of. Fun aside about this, just realized yesterday that Helena Hunting started out as a Twyfic author, and that the Clipped Wings series started out as Twyfic, which I think is very interesting. But I haven't read those books. I have only read the Pucked books. And my favorite couple from the Pucked series are Randy and Lily, and they are sort of the central couple at the heart of this novella. But we get many different couples from both series. It's cute, it's plotless, it's very smutty. I gave it 3 stars because it didn't have a plot and it was just smut, but that's not a bad thing. As far as challenges go, I don't think this met any of them. It was contemporary. The 5th book I finished for Contemporary-A-thon is Keep This to Yourself by Tom Ryan. This, I ended up giving 2 stars. It met diverse, darker, hard-hitting, new to me author. I only gave it 2 stars because I didn't love it. It probably would have been a 3-star read for me, where like it was perfectly fine, but I was never super engaged. It definitely wasn't a page turner. I didn't find the characters that well developed. They were very surface. They didn't have a whole lot of personality or dimension, especially the minor side characters. I felt like we really didn't even get to know them, and what we did know was sort of archetypal or stereotypical even. The thing that dropped it for me from 3 to 2 stars is that I guessed the identity of the serial killer during the first chapter. So there was nothing shocking about the twist. And for me, I mean, why am I reading a thriller if I can guess it immediately upon hearing the summation of the plot? So I did give it 2 stars. And finally, the 6th and final book I read for Contemporary-A-thon is Lighted Up by Kekla Magoon. I did finally finish it, and I gave it 4 stars. I did really enjoy this one. As far as challenges go, this meets new to me author, backlist title, hard-hitting, diverse, illustrated cover, gorgeous illustrated cover, and I gave it 4 stars. For this one, I had a little bit of trouble connecting to some of the characters. We do get 16 different perspectives, which is a lot of perspectives. I was impressed with how Kekla Magoon pulled it off as well as she did, and I do wonder, I didn't realize when I started this that it's actually sort of a spin-off or a follow-up novel to an earlier book she published called How It Went Down, which I haven't read. So it could be that me not connecting with some of the characters is due to that. I kind of went in expecting this book to be hyper-focused on the death of Shay Tatum, the 13-year-old who was shot by a police officer. And it is, at its heart, about that. But it's about, I would say more broadly, it's about the entire community and the individuals of the community dealing with the fallout and what it means for them personally and for their community, for their neighborhood. And sort of how does life go on after a senseless tragedy like this that shakes up your entire world? How do you keep going? And should you move on? How do you move on? There are some romances that I enjoyed. There are familial relationships that I thought were really beautifully done. I don't know, I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot, and I definitely am going to read a lot more of Kekla Magoon stuff in the future. Maybe I'll have to go back and reread How It Went Down. So that's it for me. I finished 6 books, and I had mostly very good experiences with them. I read some books I had been putting off for a long time, and I really loved them. And I had some books that I didn't love as much, but anything that gets a really visceral reaction out of me is still worthwhile, I think. I am so happy I finally finished my first readathon, and I'm glad it was Contemporary-A-thon. If you have been participating in Contemporary-A-thon, let me know so I can check out your videos too. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!